Right, yes. And
Absolutely.
everybody's a little different in that regard, too. Right. Now, when you, I guess just generally speaking, when you see folks for addictions, do you find that the majority of folks have more than one, or that they come in with just one addiction that they've either had all their life or they've just developed?
Well, having been at Senior Hope for a decade now, we have seen some changes emerging in terms of the patient population that we serve. For the most part, in terms of demographics, you know, we're seeing average age 67, alcohol dependent, Caucasian male, over 51% struggling with co-occurring issues.
But what was that percentage?
Well, it's over 50. It's like almost about 52% have co-occurring issues. And although our program has diverse patient population, this is, you know, what we see majority of.
Sure. Right, and I couldn't help but be struck by that age when you said the average age is 67. Does that correlate at all to retirement, or not necessarily?
I really do believe that it probably does. But I will say this, that over the years, we're starting to see increased number of polysubstance dependence. For years, it was mainly alcohol dependence among the older population. And that trend will continue to change as the baby boomers come of age. We will see more polysubstance dependence among our population.
Wow, wow. If you're just joining us, you have logged on to a live web chat with my guest today is Dr. Nicole McFarland, and she's the Executive Director at Senior Hope Counseling in Albany. We're talking about addictions, and we'd love to hear from you. If you have a question or a comment or a story to share, you can send it through the CBS6 Facebook page, or you can send it to us via email at chat@cbs6albany.com. Doctor, I wanted to ask you, and I know you started to get into it a little bit, but I wanted to ask you what themes have emerged over the years relating to older adults, if you could expand on that maybe a little bit more.
There are many themes that have emerged over the years that I'd love to share with you today. And they include that one size does not fit all. That really, when you custom tailor programming to meet the needs of this specialized population, it really can make a profound difference. Elders enjoy being among elders. They can get great benefit from being in treatment with mixed age group, but oftentimes at Senior Hope they articulate that they feel like mom or dad in the rooms, catering to others' needs.
Oh, really?
And when they're among their same age group, they're able to really concentrate on meeting their own needs. They have a different life stage that they're dealing with, as we noted earlier, retirement, and loss of physical vitality, perhaps loss of their hearing, their sight, their general health. These areas are very important, you know, in which to have a forum to discuss among your same age group.
I mean, I don't mean to be a downer about loss as we get older, but there can be so many. I mean, we can start to, as you said, lose our hearing, lose that physical endurance that we had when we were younger. You know, loss of independence. You know, the list goes on. I don't mean to be a downer, but all those things can be contributing factors.
And at Senior Hope, it's so important that older adults regain their sense of dignity and purpose. And so what we try to do is to help elders who are addicted tap into their strengths and their supports, both in their communities, in their families, to help them realize that they have so much to offer, given their years of wisdom, years of life.
Absolutely, that's right.
And so we want to really cultivate and nurture that.
Sure. Right. I know a lot of times I think that we tend to forget that. We focus on youth, and we forget about the wisdom of the seniors.
Absolutely.
So, wow. What goals does the administration have for Senior Hope in the years ahead?
Well, we were
foresee?
fortunate. We just had a strategic planning retreat with our board.
Okay.
We have W. Brian Barr as president of our board and Dr. Alice Green as vice president. These are two incredibly strong leaders in the community, and I feel privileged to work with them
You're a
on
real
the
honor
board.
to work with them, sure.
And the rest of the board are absolutely magnificent. So we met and had the benefit of Nancy Preston to guide us with our strategic planning through the Community Foundation, and it was extremely valuable because really what we want to do is tied into what we're doing today, which is get the word out that Senior Hope is available to help seniors 50 and older who struggle with addictions. We want to expand our programming. We want to diversify our funding streams. And we want to certainly enhance whatever services we can to help seniors who are struggling.
Sure. And I've met Nancy, by the way. I know she's a great facilitator,
Excellent.
so I'm
Yes.
sure that that was a
Yes.
great retreat. And
That was through the Linda Toohey grant that helps new executive directors to enhance their skill set, and she was able to
That's
come through the
fantastic,
Community
yes.
Foundation.
Wow, that's great. Huh.
I'm grateful.
So, right, so all kinds of good things on the horizon for the future for Senior Hope.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm sure there are many more folks that you could serve too if you had the resources to expand. I'm sure.
Absolutely.
I'm sure you could.
And this type of exposure is very helpful.
Sure. What can you share with viewers to help them if they are a provider or a caretaker or an individual in need of service?
Well, in terms of caretakers, I have heard often over the years how challenging it can be to help mom or dad who suffer with an addiction. As an adult child of an alcoholic, those caretakers are in a position where oftentimes they're caring for their children as well as the older addicted parent. And there are supports in the community. There are ACOA meetings. There are caretaker resources and meetings in the community. As a clinic helping for older addicted adults, we often include family members in the programming at Senior Hope because the elder is part of 3 generations. We cater to the patient, and that patient's addiction impacts their adult children and the grandchildren.
Right.
So it's very important to be mindful of that whole family system.
Exactly. Huh. And what do you think is needed in New York State, I guess in particular, to help meet the growing need of aging baby boomers?
We need to expand services. There are over 1,000 clinics, OASIS licensed, in New York State, and a lot of them are doing outstanding work helping older adults in mixed age group settings. So being able to find ways to provide custom-tailored approach, even in mixed age group settings, will be invaluable to this aging addicted population. And my doctoral dissertation through the University at Albany School of Social Welfare focused on outpatient treatment approaches, services, and outcomes of clinics across New York State catering to older addicted adults.
Right.
And it was really important to take a look at this whole concept of one size doesn't fit all. So
Yes, I know you mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
Right, sure. Go
Exactly.
ahead. Share a little bit more
So
on that.
what
Right.
I wanted to share is that one of the more compelling findings
Yes.
that we were able to identify was that programs that provided age-tailored services for older addicted adults had better odds of overall goal achievement by a factor of 2.25 with a p less than 0.01.
Really?
Twice as likely to have improved, better odds of overall goal achievement.
Very interesting.
Yes,
Wow.
and so very interested in sharing that information across New York
Sure,
State and helping those clinics to perhaps take a look at what
Right.
Senior Hope is doing and
Yes.
emulate some of those approaches.
Try to duplicate that. Yeah, absolutely. Wow. Well, this has been very, very interesting and very informative. And again,
Thank you.
I can't thank you enough for coming down. Is there anything else that you would like to share with us today, or with our viewers regarding?
Just to share that if you're a caregiver or if you're an older addicted adult struggling with addictions, there is hope and help. And Senior Hope is located at 301 South Allen, Albany, New York, right a block away from St. Peter's. The number is 518-489-7777, and we would welcome a chance to help.
Well, thank you so much. And we're just getting a question here now as we're getting ready to wrap up. And the question is, of this specialized population, how many recover and how many will relapse? And the second part of the question is, what is the greatest cause for relapse?
Those are two very important questions. The first question, I can share with you that all OASIS licensed clinics across New York State are compared to one another with outcomes in terms of successful completion. And OASIS looks at 1 month retention, 3 month retention, 6 month retention, and completed. Consistently over the years, we have maintained high scores when it comes to successful completion. And we are in the process of looking at the rates of repeat need for services. We are involved in analyzing our data. But oftentimes, the result of a relapse is tied in with a major life event. Perhaps the elder has lost a spouse. Perhaps the elder has been informed by their physician that they are going to be dealing with a serious, debilitating, lifelong affliction. Perhaps the elder is struggling financially. These are all significant causes that can lead to relapse, and there are several others.
Sure. Wow. Wow. Well, thank you so much for answering the question.
Oh, certainly. Thank you for asking.
Thank you for the question. Yes. So again, Doctor, thank you so much. It's been great having you here. It's been very informative.
My pleasure.
Right. And thank you to everyone who logged on, and we will see you 1 month from now. So enjoy the summer. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.